Homemade HBOT Part 2. If you missed Part 1, you don't want to go listen to me yap for 10 minutes. Here is the list. Part 1, we talked about this aspect. So to start the homemade HBOT process, it's these 6 ingredients, these 6 individual items. The pre-step is to warm up your sauna and get the ozone water cup filled. Do the hydrogen water. Then after the sauna has warmed up for about 10 minutes, you get in. I do like 145 for 30 minutes, and then I'm fully inside the sauna with the little head flap closed. Then I pop the head flap back. I sit on the chair, put a towel around my neck so that I don't breathe in the ozone. I reach down, turn the ozone bubbler on for 10 minutes once my body is damp and moist with sweat. As soon as that ends, I do dry off because I am a sweaty girl. My lymphatic system is very good at draining and responds well to sauna. So I go back into my bedroom where my red light panel is, and I stand on the vibration plate to further deepen the circulation, the process, because again, an HBOT is forced plasma oxygen saturation. We are doing a more gentle, welcoming effect and not forcing. So the vibration plate again helps with that circulation of the oxygen that we breathe through the nasal cannula. At some point in time, I'll probably do the mask just so that it's an even higher concentration in the inhale instead of 93% in the nasal cannula in addition to ambient air. But I have not got there yet. That may come later, but you can go an even step further on the oxygen concentrator. Again, I had 1 through 5 already and have been using them for years. I was just thinking, which I do all the time, because I like to figure stuff out. I like to think about things. I don't even have to figure things out. I just like to think about things. But I was thinking about an HBOT, and I had even reached out to a local chiropractor's office, and these were the prices. So we had talked about the 20 hours and that's just the basics. That's like the absolute minimum. You need like more along these 80 plus hours, and this is for soft, this is for hard, and this is just more pressurized than the soft shell. That's the difference between the hard and the soft, as far as I understand. But look at this, 13 grand. No thanks. I'm gonna use what I have. That's what my papa taught me. So instead of paying $13,000, I'm going to organize these and use these in a way that replicate that for nothing. When you use them in succession of one another, you get the same or similar response is in the body as the HBOT. But like I said, it's better because each of these parts has their own benefits that are not a part of the HBOT. So the hydrogen water has its own benefits that is not included in the HBOT. Because again, as soon as you step out of an HBOT, the benefits start to decline and then they're done after about an hour or two. Sauna is the same way. You have a improvement of 40% of all-cause mortality when you use a sauna 3 times a week. You don't get that with an HBOT. Ozone has its own benefits. Red light has its own, like all of these have benefits outside of the benefits of the homemade HBOT. That's why I use these boosters. It's pretty amazing. And not 20 grand. So let's talk about these extras. So methylene blue. That's going to come in between step 3 and step 4. So right before you turn on your red light, I use 1 drop. And that basically just primes the mitochondria to accept, like to receive and to utilize the oxygen that's going to be coming to it via the concentrator. It is like a recycler of electrons, so it helps with like boost in mood and energy, but I don't really use it for that. I do want to say that you need to be aware of your genetics. 1 drop is still kind of a lot for me. I don't have great genetics to use methylene blue, so I don't use it very often, once, maybe twice a week, and that is 1 drop. That's not like one of those huge troches that you put in your cheek. I don't do that because I would not respond well to that. So before you use methylene blue, I would check out your genetics if you can. I like Nutrition Genome. That is what I have used in my healing journey. If you don't want to go that route, just use 1 drop and sort of test your system. To me, too much methylene blue is extremely overstimulating. So that works really well with the red light therapy as well. If you just wanted to pair it with red light therapy and not have it on a HBOT day, if it was a DIY HBOT day free, then you can just use any of these parts. Okay, so next is an amplification of the detox from the sauna and the vibration plate. I use a liver and a lymph support tincture. That's 2 separate tinctures to just help support detoxification. So sauna is great at opening detox pathways. And then you have the vibration plate that's great for nervous system, for fascia, as well as your lymphatic system. And I use a specific tincture that is cleansing and purging of the lymph. So when you can shake the devil out of yourself and then take a cleansing tincture, then it shakes out old stagnant infection, and that tends to get a little bit stickier when you're in the presence of mold and histamine issues. And then the last thing I take is my freeze-dried microgreens. And this is actually multifaceted at why I take these. They help with methylation, which I have a few. I have like 4 methylation mutations that cause me to methylate. Ooh, I forgot creatine. Okay, that ties in with methylation as well. So we're going to talk about creatine. Again, not on this list. We're going to pretend it says 4, creatine. Because with regard to creatine, it preserves 40% of the methyl groups, specifically from our own synthesized SAMe. And when you have methylation mutations, you need to preserve and input methyl groups, and that's going to come from some of the freeze-dried microgreens, as well as preservation from creatine. Can you see it? It's just in very light ink. The freeze-dried microgreens also help with detoxification, providing raw materials for the nervous system, and just giving us raw nutrition. I take a half teaspoon a day. I put it in a shake with the creatine. That doesn't have to fall in line with the order of events here. That can be any time of day. This needs to go in this order. Whew, I'm long-winded. This was 20 minutes of me talking about my homemade HBOT. But I hope that if you have any of these tools, use them in this manner. I get the tablets off of Amazon. They're the Mercola brand. I use a Therasage 360 infrared sauna. I also use the Therasage ozone bubbler. I use the Platinum LED Biomax 900. It's the biggest one. You don't have to have the biggest one. I just have the biggest one. My vibration plate is the Rumblex 4D from Life Pro. I don't recommend the common vibration plates that are just, up and down. If that's what you have, use what you have. When that thing dies, upgrade to a 4D. It goes in 4 different directions at the same time, and it also variegates the speed so that your body doesn't get accustomed to the directions and the intensity. And then I have this oxygen concentrator. Again, use the cans from Walmart. Test yourself, make sure that you can tolerate oxygen well before you spend the money on this. I'll tag everything that I can. I do have some discount codes. Do not use the discount code if you don't want to. That's totally fine. Just get the information and buy the unit to make your own HBOT unit. I really hope this helps, and it helps save people money, and it helps your healing journey, and for you to just feel well and vibrant in life.